Welcome back to the Winded Podcast. I'm your host, Seamus Sullivan, and today I have a very special guest, former masshole, relocated. You can't take it out of her, but we have Brooke Johnson, who is a content creator who specializes in golf, running, lifestyle type stuff. And in her free time, she's a NICU nurse. So, Brooke, how are you doing today?
I am good. I'm so happy to be here. I can't wait to talk to you today. Thanks for having me.
Of course, of course. Let's get right into it. You are I said this to you the other day, I think that you are the most active person that I follow on social media. Every time I open up, it's like, "Oh, Brooke's playing another round. She's running a marathon. She's doing this and that." So, it's what, 10:30 on the East Coast right now. I'm assuming you've already played 18 and you've run 13 miles.
Not today. Not today. I will go for a walk with some girlfriends later, but I definitely am a busybody. I keep myself really busy. I just have a lot of hobbies and they all happen to be very active ones. So it's kind of a blessing I get, my it fills up my cup all at once. I do my fun things and they just happen to keep me healthy while I'm doing it?
Yeah, the average person would look at that and probably be like, "How does she have the energy to do that?" But I feel like for you, it's like if you didn't do that, you'd probably go crazy.
No, it's so true. There's definitely been times in my life where I feel like staying active does take a toll on you and it makes you tired, but when you do things that genuinely, I get so much joy out of them. Like, they are what keep me going, and they make my day better, and they give me more energy, so, I don't know, it kinda just is like a domino effect. The more I do, the more I wanna do.
Yeah, I am far from a runner by any means. I've gone through phases where like I relatively get into it. I've run the Falmouth Road Race a handful of times and trained for that. And there is something that when you get in that groove, you definitely feel it and you kind of it it gives you like a certain level of energy. And for people that watch your videos and they see you like smiling and running and having a good time doing it, people that don't necessarily have that in them, they're probably like, "How does she enjoy doing that?"
So, I am I still call myself a new runner. Like, I just started just over a year ago, and I was that girl, a year and a half ago, I was like, "How are these people actually smiling and enjoying running?" But it was one of those things, once I started doing it with friends, that kinda brought a whole 'nother social aspect to it, so it's for me, it's like my quality time with my friends. Like, it's catching up and how was your day? How's your job? How are your coworkers? And so it really does, bring me a lot of joy. Um, and also there's just something so special about, working hard and seeing the progress that I've made too. That's why I'm such, a Strava nerd. Like, I log all my runs on Strava. So it's so fun to see, the runs that I did a year ago versus the runs I'm doing now, and I don't feel like I've ever had such, a sense of pride that I have found with running. So it's fun to have a challenge and, chase it hard?
Definitely, and running is something that is, you can obviously do it competitively and run against other people, but just like golf, it's a sport that or an activity that you're competing against yourself and you're constantly trying to better yourself, trying to be better than the last run you did and build towards something. So, in that regard, I think that, activities like running and golf are great mental sports that, they take a toll on you mentally, but they're also so rewarding for that reason.
No, it's so true.
Let's talk about golf. How long have you been golfing?
So I being from New England, being from Massachusetts, I got into it, I'd go out a few times a summer and then, it'd get cold, so I never really consistently played when I was younger. When I was in college, I would definitely play, I don't know, occasionally. I didn't start taking it seriously until maybe, 2, 3 years ago. Um, I had never kept score prior, I didn't even really have my own clubs probably. But a couple of years ago, I kinda just caught the bug really bad. My parents, moved to Florida and moved on to a golf course, so I felt like a kid in a candy shop. I got to go whenever I wanted to, and so it was such a blessing to be able to do that, and, having my dad is a pretty good golfer, and so he and I will go a lot. We go pretty frequently, and I think also just being a part of, being a nurse, my schedule is so not like other people my age, so it would be like a random Wednesday, and the rest of the world is at work, and I am not, and so I feel like that's kinda what got me into golf, really, because I needed something to fill my time, um, and yeah, I kinda just never looked back. It's one of those things, once you have, one single good shot, you're addicted for life, and there's no going back.
That's all it takes, like, over the course of a round of golf, if you're like me, you're taking 100 something shots, someone like you probably, 80s, 90s, whatever, but out of those in that range, it really only takes a couple good shots for you to be like, "That was worth it. That was" and you ignore the other, 70 plus that were not great or not the best, but, you hit that one that just lands right. That's what you're chasing every time you go out there, for me at least.
For sure. It's like, why do people do drugs when there's literally like a center fairway drive right put you right in front of the green?
Yes. Yes. So golf has kind of opened some doors for you. You've been able to do some fun stuff. I saw you doing you were at the TGL event. Why don't you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, it was so cool. I kind of still can't believe they even let me in there, to be honest. I am too much of a hack to be warranted on that screen. My first shot on the screen was a shank, and I think I missed the screen, and it's the largest in the world, and I still somehow missed it because, why would I actually hit it? But it's been really cool. I've made a lot of friends through it. That was kind of the whole reason why I started my Instagram account when I did was because there's not that many golf girls out there, or at least I struggled to find them. So it's brought me a lot of friends, and it's cool. Like at the end of the day, like the golf world is actually pretty small, and so getting to kind of like be out in Palm Beach, where I feel like that's where a lot of these people are. That's where a lot of golfers are at, and getting to play with some of them and getting to know them, and it's been really cool, and a lot of them were at this TGL event. So, we got to go to the match and see it, and it was cool because it was a Boston Common match. So, my Boston pride really ran deep, and then we got to go a couple days later and hit on the sim and play around, and it was cool. I'm, like, not over it. It was such a pinch me moment.
Yeah, I mean, it looked amazing just, and just it was I think it's great that they let you go out there, and that the shot that you took was hilarious. I love and my favorite thing about you and creators like you in the golf world, and I gravitate more to people like you, is that you kind of lean into, like, flaws and you lean into, like, missing a bad shot. There's plenty of YouTube golfers out there that would never let that see the light of day. They feel like their entire identity would be lost. And I'm more drawn to the creator that is a little bit more relatable, that, is a little more, they're not full of themselves. Like, you hit some great shots and you put those out there, but you're not afraid to show the ones that do fail and laugh at yourself.
Yeah, and I feel like that's honestly what has kept me going in the content space because it would be exhausting to try and be perfect because I know that I'm not. And I don't like to watch people that are perfect. It's not enjoyable to me. I mean, I'm like, how many shots did it actually take you to get the one that you posted? It's not realistic, and it's not healthy to watch that sort of thing. That's what turns Instagram into the highlight reel. So it's fun because I'll like post the bad runs and the missed tee shots. And one of my favorite messages I ever got, it was such a backhanded compliment, and it's still my favorite. I had someone DM me on Strava telling me, "You're my favorite account to follow because you're not that good." That was really like, I see where you're coming from with that, but I know I'm not good, but it's fun because I feel like we're all kind of collectively getting better together, you know?
For sure, and I think that that's a great way of looking at that, and, somebody who maybe took themselves a little bit more seriously would hate that and think like, "Oh, that's" they'd only see the negative in that, but, the relatability aspect I think is huge, and I think that creators like that are just for me, they're just so much more enjoyable. I mean, for especially when it comes to golf, it's like the PGA plays Thursday through Sunday. If you want to watch perfect golf, there's plenty of it out there. In my free time when I'm, on YouTube or Instagram or TikTok, like I would much rather watch somebody who, yeah, they hit 9 amazing shots, but then there's that one in there. I'd be like, okay, like they're like us. Exactly. Exactly.
I'll say my greatest like golf hot take is that nobody's that good. Nobody is actually really good at golf. And if you were, you'd be on the tour. So who are you trying to fool? Like you all hit bad shots. Even Scotty Scheffler hits bad shots. So to try and pretend that you don't is lying.
Yeah, I don't I couldn't imagine being that, like, uptight about it that it's, and, granted, I don't have to worry about that because I am not good at golf. I can hit some shots, I can, every once in a while pull one out, but for the most part, and maybe if I was closer to being that elite, I would take it a little more seriously and try and lean into it, but like you said, if you were that good, you'd be the next level up and you wouldn't be having to take videos of yourself. There'd be a professional crew there, following you around and paying you millions of dollars to do it.
No, there's a reason you're on TikTok and not on ESPN.
Yeah. I teased it a little earlier and said it's your free time, but your full-time job is a NICU nurse, which is gotta just be so rewarding. I mean, but also tough. I mean, but how did you kind of narrow that down as the field that you wanted to go into?
Yeah, so I could talk forever about being a NICU nurse. Premature babies, they're like my life's passion. So I thought I wanted to do more of like I always knew I wanted to be a nurse. And then I kind of just realized that like babies are nursing, but it's just all miniature and fun. And it keeps it, I don't know, it keeps it enjoyable to me. I always say the coolest thing about the NICU is that it's a cross between ICU, critical thinking, using your brain, getting smarter, but it's also bows and onesies and first bottles. And like it's such a beautiful blend that I feel like it keeps me coming back. And it genuinely is like my favorite thing in the world. And I enjoy going to work just about every single day.
That's great. And I can only imagine, like, just thinking of the parents in that situation. Obviously, pregnancy's so tough, and you get to that point, and your child finds themselves in that situation where they're really kind of fighting for their life. To have somebody who is such an advocate for them, I'm sure it takes like a certain type of personality to be able to not only take care of the baby but also kind of balance the parents emotions, and prepare them and take care of them. Um so it's just, the whole thing is just really kind of not thankless, because I'm sure you get thanked plenty, but just it's such a special field within medicine, I think, that you're in.
Yeah. And it's one of those fields that I feel like you don't know it until you know it. A lot of people have no idea what a neonatal ICU even is until all of a sudden it's their life. Again, it's one of those things that people don't like to talk about it either. So the amount of times that like I'll be talking to somebody and I'll mention, "Oh, I'm a NICU nurse," and they're like, "Oh, like my baby was in the NICU or my niece or my nephew," and we would have never known because people don't talk about it because it's such
Yeah.
like a traumatic time for a lot of people's lives. Like they try and kind of block it out and never think about it again, but it affects more people than you would imagine.
Yeah, even just like in the build up, throughout the pregnancy and all the preparation and everything that a parent goes through, you know, that's not something that they necessarily prepare for, because it's kind of something you don't hope or you don't expect to happen. So I'm sure it is like a lot of kind of like a whirlwind type thing when people find themselves in that, where their baby is in the NICU.
Yeah, nobody plans for a NICU stay. And I don't know, there's it's one of those things I always say, like, "I'm really sorry that you're here, but selfishly, I'm really excited that I get to take care of your baby." So it's kinda just having to establish a new sense of norm and, like, your first days, weeks, even months of being a parent, you're not even really parenting your baby from home. You're, seeing them hooked up to wires and seeing other people hold and take care of your baby, and again, it's something that I hope nobody has to experience, but when they do, it really is such a special place.
Yeah, I can only imagine just, the mental kind of, just everything that you have to go through in that, and, trying to keep your cool, and, you know, it's high stress. It's the stakes are obviously very high. How do you kind of, obviously you have a lot of activities. Do you think that, the stuff that you do outside of work helps keep you fresh and everything for work, and it helps, give you that mental clarity?
Yeah, I think for sure. Um, it's definitely one of the reasons, like, why I love to run before work because it's like I give myself 30 to 45 minutes of me time before I go into work, and then for the rest of the day, it's about everybody else, and I already had my time, and now I get to focus on the babies and their parents and my coworkers and everybody else. So it definitely helps, and then especially after, like, a really hard shift, and they happen, but, like, there's nothing better than, like, the next day. I love when I have, like, a round of golf with my dad, and I can talk about it if I want to, I can be quiet if I don't want to, and just, like, being outside and doing the things that I love is it's really important. I don't know, it helps find the balance.
Yeah, I think that that's something that, I forget all the time, and even talking to you is reminding me, whether it's going to the gym or playing around at golf or anything like that, running. um when you frame it as the it's your time, it's it's only for you. It's dedicated to taking care of yourself. If you kind of frame it that way versus like, oh, I have to do this or look at it as a chore, it definitely makes it more enjoyable and easier to commit to.
Mhm. It's a whole different mindset. That was something that I definitely feel like I picked up when I was in nursing school, because when I was in nursing school, my life was not mine. I was a slave to the school, and just realizing, like, I'm gonna study later, but you're gonna give me an hour right now, and, like, this is what I can do for myself.
How do you I mean, you have so much going on. How do you kind of keep it all balanced and keep, kind of everything like, straight when it comes to your schedule of, whether it's putting out the content or, getting in your runs and getting in, everything all while you have a full-time job that's very, very demanding.
No, it's really hard, and if I figure it out, I'll let you know. I'm still trying to figure it out. Like, for example, I'm going on a walk with friends after this that I've had on my calendar for a month and a half. Like, you just have to really be intentional about making time for things, and one thing that I feel like I've really had to learn about is, like, because your phone can be such a big problem when you're doing, like, content and Instagram and stuff like that. Having to, like, be very clear about, like, when I'm home or, like, with my friends or whatever, and just being like, "Hey, I just need 30 minutes. I'm gonna post this video, I'm gonna edit this, and then I'm all yours." Instead of, like, being half on your phone and doing something and then half talking to them, because then they think you're being rude, but you're trying to actually be productive and get stuff done, and so just trying to, like, be clear about what you're doing and setting boundaries about, like, I don't know, "This is important, but you're important, and so I wanna give them both the attention they deserve," sort of thing. I don't know, that's helped a lot.
That makes a lot of sense, and honestly, I definitely will take that advice because sometimes it is, you think you're being present with somebody and you're being, you're multitasking, but really you're just spreading yourself thin.
Right. And they think you're being rude and you're I don't know, and you probably are, and you don't mean it. In your mind, you think that you're trying to pay attention to them, but you're really not giving them what they deserve, and so it's something that I've really had to, like, kinda, like, be mindful about.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I know when I'm like editing the podcast or trying to put a clip together, and I'm sitting next to my wife, and I think like, oh, I'm like spending time with her, but I'm really not. So I think that you've just kind of reframed my mindset on that. That if I I'm clear, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna spend some time on this, and then I'll be with you, and then you'll have my full attention versus the 1 foot in, 1 foot out.
Yeah. It's took me a long time to learn, but it's made a big difference.
What time of day do you like to run? I'm gonna get into some kind of rapid fire questions. What type of day do you like to run?
Love a morning run. There's something so fun about, like, the world being quiet and it being dark outside, and then you're done before the rest of the world's even up. Like, it's such, like, an elite feeling to go about your day with that.
Yeah, I agree. When I've had success, working out and running and stuff, the earlier it's done, the better because then it pushes you through the rest of your day, but
Right.
also you have less time to talk yourself out of it. You're like,
No,
I'm
for
gonna,
sure.
set my alarm for this. I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna do this, and it's like you're kind of half asleep before you even realize that you could say no.
Yeah, it's like 5 AM, and before you even realize it, you're halfway done with your workout. It's like, "Oh, okay. Well, we're almost done."
What's your go-to post-workout meal?
I am a big smoothie girl. I have a smoothie every day. So either a smoothie or like a fruit yogurt bowl kinda deal. I'm a creature of habit. I eat the same stuff every day.
That's the key though, and I find myself like constantly trying to like be creative with making different things, like to try and stick to a diet. And really, the best success is when you just keep it simple and try and find something you like. And what is it they say? They say the best way is to eat like a dog. Like a
Yep,
dog eats the same
same
thing
thing.
every day. And
Yep, if
I,
you
I,
like it, it works, just stick with it.
yeah, no, I think that's good advice. You recently posted your 5 favorite golf courses. What would you say are your next, couple dream courses that you'd love to play?
Okay, so my number 1 all-time bucket list course is Kapalua on Maui. And I'm so excited because I think I'll get to play it this next year. Because I have one of my best friends lives there part-time, and I've always said I would only play that course with my dad. And, she's getting married next year, so my parents are coming out there, and so I am literally have had this plan. I'm like, "Dad, whenever she gets married and we are all in Hawaii, we are playing that course." So, lucky for me, she got engaged, and so I'll get to go play that
Yes.
course with dad.
So, yeah, you're happy for her, but you get this great moment out of it. That's great. I will be looking out for that.
Yeah, I'm excited.
What when you run, what's kind of your I just from following you, I see that you kind of run all sorts of distance. What's kind of your, like, sweet spot favorite running distance?
I love like a little 5 miler because 3 is short. It's like easy breezy. You can just bang it out. Anything longer than 5, you gotta like actually mentally prepare for, and it's like a long run. 5 miles, you feel like you got a really good workout in and you're really proud for the rest of the day, but it's not gonna kill you either. It's a sweet spot.
I like it, I like it. So, I did see also that you recently did not get into the New York City Marathon. How crushing was that?
Too soon to talk about it. It was I knew it was wishful thinking. It's kinda like entering the Masters lottery. Like, you know you're not gonna get it, but a girl can dream, right? I am definitely starting to think about wanting to do a full marathon, and so if I were to have gotten into it, it would have been like, "Okay, well, you're in it. You can't second guess it. It's too late." So now I have to actually, like, think about what I would wanna do and sign up for one if I want to. So, I don't know.
Have you done a marathon before?
W Nope, I've done a half. But like I said, I'm
Okay.
still new to running, so I did my half and I caught the bug really, really bad because I didn't realize I don't, like, look at my numbers as I run, like, I can't see my pace, and I was 1 minute shy of breaking 2 hours for my half marathon, and so now I it's, like, addicting, I need to do it again.
So, even after you realized that you were that close, you still follow the same strategy of not tracking while you're running?
Yeah, I think if I were to train for a marathon, I would look at it as I go, just for the sake of, like, I don't know, pacing myself well, but I'm worried that if I were to really look at the metrics, I would overanalyze them, and it would take the joy out of it.
Yeah, I can see that for sure. What is, what's your favorite golf brand?
Ooh, oh, I like
Let's
this one.
try and let's try and farm some brand deals for you.
Yeah, right? So for, like, clothes, I love Adidas golf clothes. I think they have really good dresses and skirts for women. Clubs, I'm a big Callaway girl. I love Callaway clubs. They're
I'm
so
with you. I use Callaway myself. I got some clubs last year and I'm like, "Oh, I they don't make it doesn't make the golfer, but it definitely helps when you can kind of have clubs that work for you."
No, I need clubs so bad. I actually it's kind of embarrassing. I my clubs that I use, I got used when I was in high school. I need new clubs like something serious, and I just have been too stubborn to go do it. I just need to go get fitted.
Yeah, I use the same clubs for probably like 12 years and was like the thing is like I don't golf enough and I never golfed enough to like fully invest in it. But then I'm like, all right, maybe if I do, it'll help a little bit. Um, and I'm like, oh yeah, it didn't make me significantly better, but it's like, oh, I'm capable of more with the right equipment.
I would say though, if I get new clubs, what do I have to blame it on? You know, like right now,
Yes.
like no, it's not my fault. I have terrible clubs and I know that. So it's literally just not my fault.
I love that. The built-in excuse is everything. And don't yeah, sometimes you don't want to take that away. All right. Well, Brooke, this has been so much fun getting to know you, getting to know kind of what makes you tick and keeps you so active. Um, thank you so much. But where can people follow you? Because your
Yeah.
content is super fun.
So my Instagram is Brooke Johnson underscore, and then my TikTok is Bogies with B. But this was so great. I'm so glad I got to talk to you and get to know you. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course, and we'll definitely do it again sometime. And like I said the other day, if what I know you're from Massachusetts, if you're ever back, I need to get out with you and I need, we need to get around in. I need some lessons. Like I said, I'm a hockey player and I hit a golf club like I hit a hockey stick, so it only comes up to like my
Happy.
waist.
I love it. We'll get it on in, and I'm not your girl for lessons. I'm not good enough myself, but we'll have a good time.
Well, at the very least, we'll get a very, very funny video up.
Yes, we will. Yes, we will. Happy
All
Gilmore,
right.
the girl that shanks it into the screen.
Love it. All right, Brooke, great talking to you. We'll do it again soon.
Sounds good. Thank you.